I've cold approached 100 white girls as a brown guy in the West, which led me to attracting a hot gym girl with a fat ass. And after all these approaches, the most important thing I learned was what I like to call the water bottle salesman analogy. Now imagine if I told you you had to go and sell a plastic water bottle, and the only way you could sell it was by going door to door and asking your neighbors if they wanted to buy your water bottle. You'll quickly realize that most of them are gonna say no. Even though water is a necessity, even though everyone needs water, they're still gonna say no because there's about a million different reasons why. Maybe they already have water. Maybe as you're speaking to them, they're actually drinking water in the moment. Maybe they don't like water and they only like soda. There's about a million reasons why someone's gonna say no. So you can't let it get to your head. So in order for you to sell this water bottle, you would probably have to ask 1,000 people in order for you to get one person who will reluctantly buy your water bottle, because a lot of them are just going to reject you. Now, let's say instead of selling a plastic water bottle, we upgrade it. We upgrade it to a stainless steel, non BPA, insulated water bottle that'll keep all your liquids cool, warm, and we throw in a bonus and we put reverse osmosis filtrated water, literally the cleanest water out there. Even with all these upgrades, people are still going to reject you because they already have a metal water bottle. Maybe they don't know what reverse osmosis filtrated water is. Maybe they don't have enough money to afford the metal water bottle. Maybe they're allergic to metal. There's still going to be plenty of reasons why someone is going to reject you, but we'd only have to ask 500 people. In order to sell that plastic water bottle, we'd have to ask 1,000 people, but with this metal water bottle, only 500 people. It's still quite a lot of people, but it's not as much. Now, instead of upgrading the water bottle, let's say we just change your environment. We start asking a bunch of rich people if they want to buy the plastic water bottle. Now, quickly, we're gonna have to ask 2,000 rich people in order to get a sale because they're rich. Why do they want to buy a plastic water bottle? They probably already have the most cleanest water, so they'll tell you no. So you're gonna have to ask 2,000 people in order to get a sale from a rich person. And even with the metal water bottle, we're gonna have to ask 1,000 rich people because a lot of them are gonna already have metal water bottles. So you're gonna have to do double the volume in the plastic water bottle and the metal water bottle in order for you to get a sale. Now let's imagine I teleported you to the Sahara Desert and I told you to go sell to the nomadic tribes over there who are anti-technology, anti-Western, all this, like they're very primitive. You'd only have to ask 50 of those tribesmen before you got a sale of that plastic water bottle because they're in need of water. There's no water in the Sahara. They don't know when the next oasis they're gonna find. So you're gonna only have to ask 50 people. And it'll be even lower with that metal water bottle, probably like 25, because there's like a selling point that it will keep their liquids cool. So you would have to ask less people if we were selling the plastic water bottle and the metal water bottle to the Sahara tribe rather than the rich. So what if I told you all this is the exact same thing when it comes to cold approaching? Now, if you're a brown guy in the West and you really want to take your cold approach to the next level, I want you to click that first link in the description. But you see, after approaching 100 of girls, this is the realization I had. Nothing mattered unless I ran enough volume. It didn't matter if I was rich. It didn't matter if I was in shape. It didn't matter if I was not confident. All it mattered was how many girls was I speaking to. And you see, a lot of people, they make the mistake of thinking, once I get in shape, that's when I'll start approaching. Once I make enough money, that's when I'll start approaching. Once I do X, then I'll start approaching. But the reality is, none of that actually matters because the baseline of all of this, no matter if you're the worst version of yourself or the best version of yourself, is the volume game. The dude who's the most successful in every aspect will still have to run volume, and the dude who's the worst in every aspect will still have to run volume. Okay? There is no outrunning volume when it comes to cold approaching. Improving yourself doesn't matter as much as actually changing your environment. Because let's say you're trying to learn how to pick up girls when you live in a small town with a population of 10,000. And out of that 10,000, only 500 of them are hot girls keen on dating. You would be struggling there because there is just not enough volume. Whereas if I teleported you to Cancun, the party resort that all the hot girls go to, there's going to be way more volume, and these hot girls are just looking to find someone to have fun with. So you'll find success way faster than trying in your hometown of the population of 10,000, okay? That is the only thing that matters. How much volume are you running and what environment are you in? Now, immediately, some of you are already going to start coping and saying, oh, I can't cold approach any girls because I live in a bad town. Listen, shut up. The only people who can have this excuse is if the population is 10,000. If you live in any town where there's more than 10,000, you should not have this excuse, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Before bed, write down how many new girls you're cold approaching per day. You'll quickly realize why you aren't having the success in your dating life that you want. Because if you're talking to 0 girls a day, how do you expect to get any? You're just not going to get any girls. Now, immediately you're going to start thinking, oh, but there's not that many hot girls in my city to approach. So I will have another exercise for you to try. I want you to just go throughout your day and just make a mental note of how many girls you find attractive that you could have approached if you had the balls to. And then add all that up before bed, make a tally, and count how many missed opportunities you had. Because there are so many opportunities for everyone, but you just don't seize it because you don't cold approach. Now, if you are a brown guy in the West and you want to stop missing these opportunities and actually level up your dating life to the point where you can just cold approach any girl and bag yourself a Western girlfriend, then I want you to click the link in description. But that is the biggest lesson I learned after approaching 100 girls. Volume is king, and nothing else matters than how many girls are you speaking to per day. But with that being said, if you want my help, click that link in description. But catch you later.